بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعزائي الطلبة، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. يسرنا أن نقدم لكم نموذج امتحان شهادة التعليم المتوسط لمادة اللغة الإنجليزية دورة 2020. Good morning, dear pupils. I hope you are well. So, as you know, today you are going to have a sample of a BM exam. And here you have a typology of the BM exam. What do we mean by a typology of BM exam? So you are going to have two parts. Okay? Part 1, in which there is reading comprehension and a mastery of language. That means two sections, reading comprehension and the mastery of language. In reading comprehension, you are going to have three activities. Two activities related to comprehension and one activity related to lexis, means vocabulary, synonyms, opposites, definitions, etc. In section 2, mastery of language, so you will have an activity related to mechanics or morphology, one activity related to syntax, and one activity related to pronunciation. Okay, so this is part 1. Part 2, it's about the situation of integration, in which the candidates are supposed to write a communicative passage. It means to write short passage according to the topic mentioned in the exam. Maybe a letter written, an email, or a dialogue. Now, have a look. This is a sample of a BM exam. That means its format or its layout. As you see, you will have a text, okay, a short text about 14 or 15 lines. Then part 1, reading comprehension and mastery of language. Then part 2, a situation of integration. Okay, good. Now we'll start together to have or to do a sample of exam. It's prepared like a BM exam. We'll start first to read the text, and then you are going to see the activities prepared for this text. Shall we start? Are you ready? Good. Well, listen. As you see, you have a text in which there is a title, a great scientist, and 3 paragraphs. Then where is it taken from? That means it is the source. It is adapted from Aim High students' book. Okay? So listen now. Text. A great scientist. Marie Curie was born in Warsaw, Poland in 1867. Her father taught physics and her mother was the head teacher of a girls' school. Marie was a very intelligent student at secondary school, but she couldn't go to university because she was a woman. So she worked as a governess for children of a wealthy family and studied secretly at university in Warsaw. Later, she moved to France and studied science at the Sorbonne University in Paris. In 1906, she started teaching at the Sorbonne University, where she met another scientist, Pierre Curie. They got married in 1895 and had 2 children. Pierre and Marie did a lot of important work on radioactivity and discovered radium and polonium. In 1903, they won the Nobel Prize for Physics and they used the prize money to help needy students. 3 years later, Pierre died in a road accident, but Marie didn't stop working. In fact, she won the Nobel Prize for Chemistry in 1911. Marie Curie stayed in France for the rest of her life. She tried to use her discoveries to help people who were in hospital. Marie became ill because of radioactivity and died of cancer in 1934. In 1995, the French government moved the remains of Marie and her husband Pierre to the Pantheon, the building in Paris where people can visit the tombs of the most famous people. Adapted from Aim High Students Book 1, Tim Fowler, Paul A. Davis, Paul Kelly, Alistair McCallum. Okay, so this is the text in which you are going to do the activities. Well, shall we start now? Yes. Part 1, 14 points. A. Reading comprehension, 7 points. Read the text carefully and do the following activities. Activity 1, 3 points. Read the following statements and write true, false, or not mentioned. So you are going to read the text, then to read the statement, then to say whether these statements are true, false, or not mentioned. 1. Marie Curie met Pierre Curie at university in Paris. Statement 2. Pierre enjoyed working with his wife. Statement 3. Marie Curie died in a road accident. So in this activity, simply you have to say true, false, or not mentioned. Activity 2. 2 points. Answer the following questions. Question 1. When was Marie Curie born? When was Marie Curie born? Question 2. Did she win the Nobel Prize for Chemistry? Did she win the Nobel Prize for Chemistry? Okay, so you have to find 2 answers from the text, of course. Activity 3, 2 points. So find in the text words that are closest in meaning to the following. 1. Clever. 2. And. So you are going to find their synonyms from the text. 2. Find in the text words that are opposite in meaning to the following. I mean, you are going to look for antonyms of last, second word, unknown. Okay, so this is section 1 from part 1 concerning reading comprehension. We'll move to section 2, which is mastery of language. 7 points. Activity 1, 2 points. Okay, correct the underlined mistakes. Here are 4 mistakes, so you are going to correct them. Marie Curie is the first woman who taught in the Sorbonne University. So the mistakes are, is, women, in, and university. So you have to find the correct correction. Activity 2, in which you will score 3 points. Complete the following sentences with the correct relative pronoun. Who, which, or where. So you have to use the correct relative pronoun from the list and complete the following sentences. The book I have just read was written by Ibn Sina. 2. Ibn Khaldun was a great scholar, invented modern sociology. 3. Dr. Abdurrahim Borwis was born in Tlemcen. He followed his primary, middle, and high school studies. Okay, so you have to complete them and to put the correct relative pronoun for each sentence. Activity 3 now, it's about pronunciation. 2 points. Pick out from the text or find in the text 4 verbs and complete the table according to the pronunciation of their final ed. 4 verbs, okay, in which their final ed pronunciation is te, de, or it. So te, you will find 1 verb, de, you will find 2 verbs, and it, you have to find 1 verb. Excellent. Now we'll move to section 2, part 2, sorry, okay, which is a situation of integration. 6 points. In situation of integration, your English web poll has asked you about famous Algerian figures. Okay, well, write him or her an email. I mean, you are going to write an email. In this email, you will give him or her some biographical information, okay, about an Algerian outstanding figure you know. And Algeria has many famous or outstanding figures. You are going to write about date and place of birth, most important events and works this outstanding figure did, okay, and the date and the place of death, okay. So now you will have a while, take your pens and try to do this exam. Welcome back. Here is a typical correction, and I think that you did your best to do this exam. Okay, we'll start the correction. Part 1, reading comprehension, section 1. So now we are going to correct activity 1, in which you are going to say whether the following statements are true or false. So, can you give me the first answer? Yes. Marie Curie met Pierre Curie at university in Paris. What is your answer? Excellent. True. So, Marie Curie met Pierre Curie at university in Paris. It is mentioned in paragraph 2 in the first line. So, in 1906, she started teaching at the Sorbonne University, where she met another scientist, Pierre Curie. Very good. So, it's a good answer. We move to the second one. Pierre enjoyed working with his wife. What is your answer? What do you think? Excellent. So it's not mentioned at all. It's not mentioned that Pierre enjoyed working with his wife. So yes, they get married, okay, in 1895. but it is not mentioned that Pierre enjoyed working with his wife Marie. Good. 3. Statement 3. Marie Curie died in a road accident. Is your answer? Good answer. Good. False. So, it's not Marie Curie who died in a road accident. Her husband, Pierre Curie, okay, who died in a road accident. So, Marie Curie died with a cancer, okay? So, the answer is false. Good. Now we move to activity 2. Answer the following questions. Question 1. The first question is a WH question, and it starts with when. That means you are going to find something about date, okay? Something about time, a period, okay? But I think you know when it is concerning a date of birth. So this is the question. When was Marie Curie born? Okay? So the question is, your answer is, yes. Excellent. Marie Curie was born in 1867, and it is mentioned in paragraph 1, the first line. So she was born in Warsaw, Poland, because she is a Polish scientist, in 1867. And there are possible answers. Simply you can say, good, she was born in 1867. So the subject change, you can say Marie Curie, and you can say she. And yes, good, in 1867, in 1867, simply all possible answer. Some of you may write 1867. So they are all the correct answers. We move to the second question. Did she win the Nobel Prize for Chemistry? So it's an auxiliary question. So it starts with did. Okay? So when you have such questions, so your answer is whether yes or no. Okay? So you have to answer with yes or no. So to answer this question, your answer? Excellent. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. So Marie Curie won the Nobel Prize for Chemistry in 1911, and it is mentioned in paragraph 2. And you can answer with yes, Marie Curie won the Nobel Prize for Chemistry. And simply you can say yes. You can say yes. So the three answers are correct. Good. So now we move to activity 3, which is about vocabulary. Find in the text words that are closest in meaning to the following. The first word is clever. Okay? So the synonym of clever is, and I think that you know it, it's easy. Yes. Great. Intelligent. Intelligent. And it is in paragraph 1, intelligent. Okay? So clever, the synonym of clever is intelligent. Intelligent. Second word, ant. Okay? So your answer, what is it? Good. Stop. Stop. Okay? To end something, that means to stop something. And it is in paragraph 2. Yes, just Mary didn't stop working. Didn't stop working. That means didn't end working. Now find in the text words that are opposite in a meaning to the following, and you can say antonyms of these words. First one, lost. Lost. Your answer? Good. Won. Okay. So the infinitive is win. Okay. And the infinitive of lost is lose. So when in paragraph 2, when talking about the Nobel Prize, they won the Nobel Prize, or Marie Curie won the Nobel Prize. Second word, unknown. Yes, your answer? Excellent. So the opposite of unknown, someone who is famous, okay? In paragraph 3, okay, the last line, the most famous people, and you can say popular, someone who is unknown, that means he is unpopular, okay, famous. Good. So we have finished with part 1, okay, the 2 section, first section, reading comprehension. Now we'll move to section 2, which is mastery of language, okay, 7 points, in which you are going to score 7 points. Activity 1, we asked you to correct the underlined mistakes. You have 4 mistakes. I think you have got the correct words. Marie Curie is the first woman who taught in the Sorbonne, who taught in the Sorbonne University. So, what is the correct word for is? Great, was. So, because Marie Curie died, so we can say Marie Curie was the first, what? Yes, woman, singular. So before it was women, plural of woman, so it wasn't correct. But now Marie Curie was the first woman who taught where? Which preposition? Yes, at. Preposition at the Sorbonne. What? University, with S, not with C. With S, not with C, and you can find it in the text. And we say at school, at the university, when talking about places. Good. So now you have a correct sentence. Marie Curie was the first woman who taught at the Sorbonne University. Good. So now we'll move to activity 2. Okay, 3 points. Complete the following sentences with the correct relative pronoun. Who, which, or where. The first one, the book I have just read was written by Ibn Sina. And here we are talking about the book. So which relative pronoun fits correctly? Yes, your answer? Excellent. Which? So since the book is an object, so the correct relative pronoun is which, okay? So the book which I have just read was written by Ibn Sina. Good. So because the book is an object, the correct relative pronoun is which. 2. Ibn Khaldun was a Greek scholar, invented modern sociology. Okay? Ibn Khaldun is a subject. We mean by subject a person, and a Greek scholar. Of course, scholar is a subject too. So what is the correct relative pronoun? Yes, who. Very good. It's a correct answer. Who. So since a Greek scholar is a subject, so the correct relative pronoun here is who. Okay? Yes, we mean by a subject a person. Okay? 3. Dr. Abdurrahim Bourwis was born in Tlemcen. So Tlemcen is a place. He followed his primary, middle, and high school studies. So since Tlemcen is a place, your answer is very good. Where? So the correct relative pronoun here is where, because تلمسان is place. Okay, good. Now let's correct activity 3, in which you pick out from the text 4 verbs and complete the table according to the pronunciation of their final ed. So the verbs which their final ed sounds to, do, and it. Here are possible answer. Good. 2, you have worked. Worked. Do, you have moved, discovered, used, died, stayed, tried. And it, you have started, married, and did. Okay, so these are the verbs you may or you have to find in the text. Now we move to part 2 of the exam. Part 2 of the exam, you were asked to write about a famous figure, a famous Algerian figure, okay? And in Algeria, there are so many famous personalities. You can write about them. You have writers, novelists, playwrights, thinkers, philosophers, scientists, scholars, leaders. So you can write about anyone you know. How? Simply, first you can introduce this Algerian famous figure. Give his full name, in which field he or she is famous in, where is he or she from, and his field. What is he specialized in? So, here an example, and I think that you know about it. You saw this personality or you met this personality in your MS3 year, and it's about the famous Professor Belgasem Habba. So you can write Professor Belgasem Habba is a famous Algerian researcher and inventor in the field of electronics. This is a simple sentence any pupil can write. So you can mention the full name, where is he from, that means he is Algerian or his nationality, and what is he or she is famous in. He is a researcher and inventor in the field of electronics. Good. Then you can write about a date and a place of birth. So something easy for any pupil to write about date and place of birth. So you have to say he was born, and you mention the full date or simply the year. Then the place, you can say in, you can write the place as it is written here in the example. He was born in 1957 in Al Mghayr in Al Wad. Okay, so this is how to write about date and the place of birth. Then you can write about the most important events in his life. That means in this personality life. You may talk about his studies, his graduation, and works. Okay? So here, an example about Belgasem Habba, we complete. So, Professor Belgasem Habba got his baccalaureate in 1974, talking about his studies and achievements. Then, he got his DES in physics in 1980 from Houari Boumediene University, Addis. So, and his PhD after graduating from Stanford University, USA, talking about graduation. Then you move to his works. You can say simply, he has more than 1,200 inventions or patents in miniaturization in mobile chips, cameras, and the console games. So this is his works. What did he invent? Okay, and you know that Belgasim Habba is classified or one of the most inventors in the Arab world and in the globe. Then the last thing you can write about it, it's the date and the place of death. So because Belgasim Habba, Prof Belgasim Habba is still alive, but in case you write about a died famous figure, and we have plenty, okay, you may write about Abdulhamid bin Badis, for example, or Malik bin Nabi, okay, or Katib Yasin. So simply you can say, example, he or she died in, you write the date, and in you mention the place. For example, Abdulhamid bin Badis, okay, died in April 16th, 1940 in Constantine. Or you can write about Malik bin Nabi, died in 31st October in 1937 in Algiers. Simply you can write about the following, okay? Then you can write any paragraph about any famous Algerian figure, talk about at least the following information. Thank you very much for your kind attention. I hope you get benefit from this exam. Wish you the best luck in your future exams, inshallah. Take care. Goodbye.